A night sky above Jerusalem is not silent. It has always whispered ancient secrets to those who dare to look deeper. But what if hidden in plain sight, a celestial countdown has been unfolding, not for centuries, but for millennia, waiting for a single moment in 2025 when 100 shofars will sound together and unlock a mystery older than time itself. Have you ever wondered why certain dates feel heavier? Why some years seem charged with destiny? Tonight, you are stepping into a story that stretches from the deserts of Judea to the furthest edge of the cosmos, and by the end of this journey, you may never hear the sound of a trumpet the same way again. You're about to discover connections between prophecy, astronomy, and the hidden symbolism of the Feast of Trumpets that few have dared to unveil. This is not just another Bible video. This is an encounter with secrets, with patterns, with the life of Jesus refracted through the lens of 2025. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we'll peel back layers of history, science, and mystery to reveal something you were never told in Sunday school. It begins, as it always does, with a sound, a shofar, curved and ancient, cut from the horn of a ram. For thousands of years, it has called Israel to worship, to repentance, to war, and to celebration. But when one becomes 100, a perfect storm of sound, the ancient rabbis whispered that a cosmic door would swing open. Is that door about to open now? And if it does, what will pour through? Some say it is a rehearsal for the return of the Messiah. Others say it is the final warning before a shift in the heavens. But the next part will surprise you even more. This moment has been encoded not just in Hebrew tradition, but in the very patterns of the sky, in eclipses, alignments, and astronomical signs most people never notice. Look up. The Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah, always begins with the new moon, the sliver of light so faint that only trained watchers can spot it. In ancient times, men were stationed on hilltops to scan the horizon, and when they saw it, they lit fires and sent messengers to Jerusalem. The whole nation held its breath for that first sign, because no one knew the day or the hour. Does that sound familiar? No one knows the day or the hour, Jesus said about his return. What if he was hinting, not at randomness, but at a specific festival, a specific trumpet blast? The next revelation uncovers a secret very few people know. In rabbinic tradition, the Feast of Trumpets was called the Hidden Day, the Day of the Awakening Blast, and even the coronation of the King. Suddenly, the New Testament words glow with a deeper light. What was hidden for centuries now stands at the threshold of being revealed. And in 2025, Jerusalem will not merely hear one shofar, but 100. Picture it, the stone walls vibrating, the air shimmering with sound, an echo of Sinai and Revelation all at once. But why 100? In Jewish mysticism, the number 100 is not accidental. It represents completion of cycles, a fullness that transcends ordinary time. Each blast has a name: Tekiah, Shevarim, Teruah, and each one has layers of meaning: awakening, breaking, triumph. When 100 of these converge, it is said the gates of heaven tremble. Yet there is more. Scientific research into the effects of sound on matter cymatics shows that sustained frequencies can shape dust into patterns, even form geometric lattice. Imagine then the walls of Jerusalem vibrating with sacred frequency. Could it be that prophecy itself is not just metaphor, but physics? What comes next may change how you see the sky forever, for the stars themselves tell the story. In 2025, during the Feast of Trumpets, the heavens over Jerusalem will hold a rare configuration, not just planets aligned, but constellations echoing the imagery of the book of Revelation. The woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, a crown of stars on her head. Is it coincidence, or is it a cosmic rehearsal of the day when the King returns? The ancients didn't separate astronomy from theology. To them, the sky was a scroll written by the Creator, If you read it with the right eyes, you can see messages encoded across centuries. In fact, one of the Dead Sea Scrolls contains a fragment called the War Scroll that speaks of trumpet blasts and heavenly armies. Could it be that 2025 is not just another year, but a hinge, a doorway between eras? But stay with me, because the next part draws us from the skies back down into the streets of Jerusalem, to the life of Jesus himself, whose story has always been tied to the feasts. He was born during a time of census, echoing the Feast of Tabernacles. He died at Passover, the lamb sacrificed. He rose during firstfruits, and the Spirit came at Pentecost. Only one major feast remains unfulfilled in his earthly life, the Feast of Trumpets. If his first coming aligned with the calendar of God, why would his return not do the same? This is not a new idea. Early church fathers like Irenaeus hinted at it. Jewish believers whispered it, but few have spoken it aloud in our time. Yet the next revelation uncovers a secret very few people know, hidden in the genealogy of Jesus and the numerology of names. In the patterns of sabbatical years lies a countdown that points to a future Feast of Trumpets unlike any before. And so, as the shofars prepare to sound, the question is not only what will happen, but are we ready to hear it? Sound is more than noise. In the Bible, it is creative power. And God said, and the universe became. The shofar blast at Sinai shook the mountain until it smoked. The shofar blast at Jericho brought walls down. What might 100 shofars do in Jerusalem, city of prophecy, city of destiny? Could their vibrations stir the stones themselves, awaken memories in the very ground? Ancient rabbis spoke of the last trump, not as an instrument, but as a voice, a cosmic signal. Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 15, "At the last trumpet, we shall be changed." Could it be that 2025 is a rehearsal for that change? Yet the mystery deepens. Across cultures, the horn or trumpet has been the sound of kingship and transition, from Egyptian ceremonies to Tibetan long horns to Viking war calls. Some researchers suggest that humans are wired to respond to such frequencies, to feel them not only in the ear, but in the bones. When 100 shofars call out together, it is not just a sound. It is an immersion, a full-body encounter with history and destiny. And somewhere in that sound, if you listen closely, you might catch the echo of a voice you've been waiting for. But the next part will surprise you even more, because buried within ancient Jewish writings is a prophecy about the 100th blast, the Takja Didola, the great long blast that will not end until the congregation can no longer breathe. Some rabbis said this would be the blast that awakens the dead. Others said it would split the sky. The great blast has been called a rehearsal for the resurrection. And here we are, on the threshold of 2025, when the shofars will gather, and Jerusalem will vibrate with an ancient frequency once again. Could this be the moment when rehearsal becomes reality? And yet, this is only the beginning. We've only scratched the surface of what is hidden in the interplay between Jesus' life, the feasts, the stars, and the coming sound of the shofar. The deeper we go, the more the patterns unfold, like a code waiting to be cracked. In the next segment, we will explore the secret meaning of the 100 blasts, the physics of sacred sound, and the hidden numerology in the Gospels that points to a year of awakening. Stay with me, because what comes next may change how you see not only prophecy, but time itself.